Hi, it's me, Pepsi Hotdog. This week's episode of After the Fact was recorded immediately after our recording of Fun Facts and Sad Truths, Episode 5, which we recorded at the local public library. We began recording this episode in our car while we were leaving the library. Then we turned off the recording to eat lunch. Unbeknownst to us at the time, my phone began recording again during lunch, which I have included here. Then we returned to the car to complete the episode. This episode actually spawned a fourth recording, not included here, that will be released at a later date as a separate episode of After the Fact. Without further ado, enjoy.
No.
All right, we're recording. So here, I think the microphone's on the bottom of the phone.
Are we just gonna trust that it's catching all of this?
Oh no, I'll find out later. You have to talk loud, Jake,
Yes.
because this fucker better realize that I'm not going to stop. Good. So you
Remember
should
your mirror.
you should never talk on the phone while driving, but you can
But you can
record
talk at your
yourself
phone.
on your phone. Yeah, talk at your phone while
Right.
driving.
What about text while driving?
Well, I usually do that, but unfortunately right now I have to let Anchor record us talking,
Right.
so I cannot.
Oh my god, what is that guy do?
Just having a good time.
Is he maintenance or are you
Gotta
trying to
get
steal your
maintenance, yeah.
tickets? Wait, what are you supposed to do though?
Am I just good to go? Thank you. Have a good one. So that was the sound of me leaving a parking garage. I took my sunglasses out, but wasn't smart enough to put them onto my face at any point.
Do you need help
Yeah.
in life or?
Take that.
No. Okay.
Okay, this person seems to be letting me in after these people.
Let's see if you just took your glasses off. So
Yeah.
driving blind here.
I'm not blind.
Just like half blind
There we
in
go.
one eye.
So I'm gonna
Private eye
go
patch.
not to the one we went to last time, but the one I usually go to.
That's fine. So
Hell yeah.
So it's like a sit down or like a
Yeah.
fast food truck or
It's a
something?
sit down.
Cool.
So we just finished. I'm gonna
Exciting.
roll this window.
Okay,
up.
but I have to point out, so that building there, those eagles look like straight up Nazi eagles. Like I said, how I
We're
was
in the-
watching the Man in High
Oh,
Castle,
yeah.
those straight up look like the stylized
Yeah.
eagles.
There's a meme, I'm sure you've seen this, where it's like, here in America, we have this joke where we like look for buildings that were clearly once Pizza Huts. Do you have anything like that where you're from? It's like Germans. And it's a Burger King where you can clearly see the shadow on the wall of where there used to be
Gross.
Nazi architecture stuck. A swastika is bad.
Oh my god.
But sort of like on Nickelodeon.
Alright,
But
go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is our episode of After the Fact, and it's our first episode of either podcast that we are recording using Anchor's function to use my phone as a microphone. So
if this sounds like garbage,
I'm gonna roll the window down.
that's why.
Yes, add more statics. There.
Oh,
Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
ideas.
So now everyone outside who can like be heard on the recording technically are a guest on our podcast.
Yes. See, there's Jeff,
Back, yep,
Matt,
that's Madeline.
Marissa,
Tell 'em we live by Jeff Bezos.
Oh, no.
Sally.
Oh no. But
He's still the richest, even though he got divorced. He's still the richest person, I think.
he won't be when we kill him.
No, actually, three quarters. Three quarters.
Is better half because anything's better than Jeff Bezos.
I was so dead that his like sex and stuff
Mhm.
released. I was like, he's so nasty. Like if you look at him, like
He looks like okay, so
nasty.
because he started to exercise and shit, and he got like muscular as a sad divorced guy, but he still has this weird Jeff Bezos head. He looks like Earthworm Jim. Oh yes, this is the best place to stop driving. Good move.
He's got to work his tickets.
Oh, does he work there?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's fine.
Driving. It doesn't matter.
No, support the proletariat. Class solidarity. Go work your job at the theater.
Support the love story.
Yeah.
Bourgeoisie want you to.
Yeah.
It's like unrequited love.
Exactly. Because we know it's like Romeo and Juliet. We do have to overthrow and kill them.
And like a little bit of self-hate too.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because like you want to be them, but you also hate them.
Yeah. Anyways,
Anyway,
so welcome to After the Fact. We have a couple of different things we had like been touching on and kind of mentioning, bringing up into this one. And the first thing I wanted to bring up is we brought up Queen. And one thing we've actually not discussed on the show yet is, and I'm kind of shocked because amongst like liking Space Jam and like whatever baseball and stuff, this is a big part of my life. I don't like Queen.
Is that what you fill out on your they
Interest?
give you a questionnaire? What are
Yes.
your likes and dislikes? Your likes are
Space Jam, baseball,
and stuff.
and
dislikes Queen.
Okay.
dislikes Queen.
I don't like Queen. And here's why. I finally figured out what it is. I like dumb shit. So, like, I really enjoy stupid stuff that's just unequivocally stupid. So, like, in music, when, like, Muse comes on the radio, I'm like, this is funny because this is so bad and
That
stupid.
man is dancing,
Weird. Oh,
but
Yeah.
also throwing a football occasionally.
hell yeah. Do it.
Way to go.
Yeah.
For you listeners at home, there's a man on the sidewalk dancing and throwing a football.
It's like an interpretive dance about football, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful and
it really
eloquent. And I'm tearing
It
up
is.
right
This is
now.
something. I wish we could include this, but we can't.
But we can't.
Uh,
Yeah, so he's a guest on the show.
Yeah, he's one of our guests. That's Mitchell.
But anyway,
Mitchell Mark.
So I like stupid shit like MVP 2 Most Vertical Primate. Love that.
Okay.
Space Jam, which I don't think is as stupid as people think it is, but still, it's goofy and stupid. What I don't like is something very stupid that is passed off as smart, and that is Queen. Because it's
Interesting.
dumb, goofy music. And when I listen to it, I'm like, this is fine. I don't hate their music. It's that it's supposed to be smart.
it's
So it's like
I
supposed
mean,
to be
it's not-
highbrow.
And
it's
it's
not
the fans who do
necessarily-
it. Yep.
it's not
I don't know.
necessarily that
I
you
don't know
have
if
to
I
be
agree with that.
Smart, but
I
I
have to
think
think.
it's if you don't like. I don't know. Yeah, there's way too much hype around Queen. It's like, yes, they
Yeah.
play good music and they have a good like head
Yeah.
singer and like all their musicians are all right.
Well, no, that's not what it is, though. Because whenever I talk about disliking Queen, the response I get is, it's because you don't get music. If you understand how
Oh.
technically proficient they are,
Yeah, but that's kind of the people, not
That's what I'm
necessarily
saying.
the music. Like
my
that's
issue is the fan
elitist
base. Yes.
people, and like I had a friend in like high school where like he could not mention a band without saying like I was one of the first people to ever listen to them. Like
Mhm.
was before it was cool, or like I was like an asshole in the 70s, but like I heard of Queen, so I'm amazing. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
okay.
And
But-
that's I dislike it because the good thing about Queen is that it's like goofy and kind of stupid,
Right.
but their reputation, and I think the best example of it is not the movie but the song Bohemian Rhapsody, which by all accounts means nothing and is just kind of silly nonsense. And fans try to like go by like how like smart the lyrics are and how interesting it is, and it's like, no, they admit it was just fucking gibberish and shit. Like it didn't mean anything. They were cracking up making it.
It's a fun song. Yeah, they were all
But,
on
like-
fucking coke and shit, just doing whatever the hell they wanted.
But there
Fucking
is
do
like
some
some
rhythm.
operatic like influences, like the Bohemian Rhapsody being part of it. So I
Mhm.
think that's where people identify like, oh, because it's
And they
around from something that's so
Yes.
classical
and they
and
conflate
highbrow.
that with
Yeah.
skill, and it's like with him having an operatic voice. Yes.
Yeah.
Does he have some level of technical proficiency in how he sings? Absolutely. But that does not make music good. You can have a very boring, very uninteresting orchestration that requires a like high amount of technical skill,
Right.
and it's that idea of like meritocracy in music. It's like, no, fuck, it's art, and they didn't make all that interesting of art.
So like there's not the passion behind it, because I've totally, in any art form, actually pretty much anything, is like for example, like even in sports, you can have someone who's not a great player, but they're
Mhm.
just like showmanship in sport. They have this like personality,
Yep,
and
that's
people
actually
people love that, and they'll support that even if the player's like not amazing. And like that's exactly in
Yeah.
art or music, where it's not classical, beautiful, elegant. Like it can be really raw, but it's tapping to something that like people identify with.
exactly.
Yeah, arguably more than, that's why like people don't like, love perfection, but we also don't love perfection.
For listeners at home, who
Yeah.
I'm sure don't exist, Sam is not aware of the fact that the previous episode of After the Fact, which is going to be released at some point, I think on
Eventually,
Monday,
ever.
but we recorded this like a week or so ago, was about sports as a form of art and the idea that
Stop,
yeah,
really?
literally we talked about it.
Oh, I gotta listen to that.
Yeah.
Like once you ever publish it.
Yeah.
But,
So I feel
publish it?
validated.
Upload?
Upload, publish.
Drop it.
Electronic
You drop it. The
publish,
track
yeah.
is fire. Yikes.
Link SoundCloud to my podcast.
Yeah. Wait, but that's super cool.
Yeah.
Because
and
I
think
think
it's
about
very-
that all the time.
Yeah.
Like I don't follow a bunch of sports, but I like going to games and stuff and
And
being a part
watching
of the yeah.
And it's
And that's like the audience aspect of art because okay, so I have like an art history design background and like I've learned a lot of stuff, but like performance art is a huge fucking deal because it transformed like what you could perceive to be art. Like a literal I mean theater has existed for like thousands of years, but the idea of turning an everyday activity into art and then people watch you
Mhm.
and say that it's art is like huge.
Well, and that's another thing with Queen is that they're good performers, or at the very least, like Eddie was a good performer. Like you see him up on stage, like he has passion. Like when he's playing, he's running around, he's sweating his ass off.
You mean Freddie?
Did I say Freddie?
Yeah,
said
I was like Eddie
Eddie
better.
Vedder?
What are you
Yeah.
talking
I said
about?
Freddie.
Yeah, no, hang
I
on.
thought I said Freddie. Well,
Yeah.
just edit me saying Freddie. But like,
Just
There we go.
You'd be like
Or here-
Eddie.
here.
I want you to know this one's not going to get edited because I'm just recording it.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we want it raw. We want the
Yeah.
passion, not
Yeah.
perfection. On this podcast, we do not strive for perfection.
Exactly.
But yeah, so it's like I feel like being at one of their concerts, you probably feel like an elevated form of music, but just their music as itself, it's like it's good, but
But I think
you don't have to be
Okay.
the smartest person in the world to understand it or whatever.
Yeah,
But
and
I-
go on.
I wonder if you, Pepsi, are reacting to like these people shitting on you. Like, cause like,
No, yeah,
do you
absolutely.
know what I mean?
It
Like,
went from I was not a huge fan of Queen and I didn't really like them all that much to like years of being corrected about that. Like, oh, you just don't get it. It's like, no, I like listen to avant jazz. Like I listen to highly
I have my niche
Yeah.
interests.
and I get the
so-
technical proficiency. That's a thing that I like in music. This is just not I don't like it. And it turned into like, yeah, no, it's the idea that you're wrong for not liking Queen or
Well,
something.
that's like any bullshit excuse. People
Yeah.
say like shame you for not knowing this or doing
And
this.
I've-
It's like you got to be okay that other people aren't gonna like what you like.
exactly.
And because they like other things doesn't make your thing less valid. Like I have a huge theory that like that's why people get upset if you don't like the same thing is because somehow they're not validated. You know what I mean?
Mhm. And I think an issue I have is how strongly towards that idea politics has gotten, where it's like
sure.
you have to be a fan of this thing, and it's like you can leave the political party you're voting for if you don't like the person.
Yeah, you what's the loyalty? What is it going to
Yeah.
serve you?
It's like
These people don't
sports
share your
teams.
interests.
Like I like the White Sox when they suck because I'm a Sox fan. I'm not going to vote for the Democratic Party if they start electing fascist, racist people. Like I'm like, okay, then no, I'm fine. I don't need that.
yeah.
I'm gonna pause and see if we can continue recording
Okay.
From Panera. So I was leaving and someone had like an entire thing of fries that they hadn't eaten. So I grabbed
Yeah,
some.
you said
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do that, but I'm just fat. And then I'll just still buy my own food.
No, I ate and then I got them on the way out. It's like, it's a Jewish thing too. You don't throw food out. You know,
Thing. Yeah.
it's a generation raised by the generation raised by people who did not get killed in the Holocaust. Like we-
Yeah.
I had to trade shoes and cigarettes for food. Like,
The
one of my
Holocaust
favorite
was a
stories-
lot like Rikers.
one of the best things that I was ever told by a coach is my coach Powell would tell this story about this guy in concentration camps during the Holocaust. Like shoes were a big currency apparently, so he would run up to people and just headbutt them in the chest, and because everybody was so weak, they'd just fall over and just take their shoes and put them around his neck. So he would just walk around with just a bunch of shoes around his neck. And it's just like the way he described it, it just sounded like this fucking.
It's
Yeah, it was
insane.
insane.
And that's like a big thing in Holocaust museums where they have the shoes.
Yeah.
Of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say when we were talking about it, I didn't want to bring it up because A, I don't want people to think it was a joke, and B, it was
Yeah.
a huge shift in tone. The
Right.
book I never finished. I got like 10 pages to the end. It just would not finish. It was Diary of Anne Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That
what I'm
would've been
talking
fun to bring
about.
up on the
That's what I'm
thing.
talking about. Like you,
Yeah.
not because you want to prolong it, but sometimes you just don't want to see the end.
I'm good.
Like
yeah.
I read a book. It's called All the Lights You Can See. You can't see. You can see. Whatever. It's like this fiction, but it's a World War One. And spoilers, but like the ending is terrible because you have these two people. You're following them separately, and like, oh my god, they're gonna meet, and like all these things are happening, and then they meet for a second, and then one of them
I
dies.
was gonna say one of
Like,
them's
fuck.
a member of the Black Hand, and one of them's Archie. It's for me.
That's a love story.
The romance that never could be. But yeah.
White Steve Harvey. Sorry, I was thinking about that. I was listening to E1, and I think it was in the robot when Branson was the robot. They look through his files, and there's a folder that just says White Steve Harvey, and they're like, what is this? It's like I wanted to see what it would look like if a white man could wear a suit the same way Steve Harvey does. Because that man can wear a suit.
White Steve Harvey is just Dr. Phil.
Whoa, conspiracy theory. Shit. I love on SNL when what is his name? Shoot, he's been on there for like 30 years. He's like a sketch comedian.
Kanan Thompson?
Yes,
Yeah, he's
when
my
he
favorite.
does Harvey, it's amazing.
When he does what?
Steve Harvey,
Oh, yeah.
the guy we were just talking about,
Yeah.
with the joke you just made.
I totally.
Are you listening?
See,
I know it's like
I was thinking of Kanan Thompson. I was thinking of all the things that I've seen Kanan Thompson do.
Good Burger.
Like Good Burger.
Yeah.
And the sequel, Better Burger. And the ending to the trilogy, Best Burger.
Good Burger and its sequel. Fuck. I had a joke and it's gone.
Do you remember that movie at all, Good Burger?
Oh yeah, I love
No,
it.
no, you don't remember.
It's great.
Oh,
Abe
my God.
Pagoda.
Dude, it is. The plot makes absolutely no sense because there's this machine in like the rival burger place or whatever where these burgers like.
Mondo Burgers.
Yeah, at Mondo Burger.
If
They're
you
like
haven't-
on this conveyor belt. So they perfectly cook these burgers. They throw them on a conveyor belt, and then it goes into this machine, and then they just come out like 10 times the size. And it's like, you can grow things. Why don't you just put gold in there, grow the gold, and then sell it? Like what? Like if
Well,
you can
it's
just
like-
make stuff bigger.
That sounds like Spy Kids, where they had that little thing and then they put it in the microwave and then it was like a full food
Yeah,
thing.
it was weird.
I think you could reason it out that it's beef specific.
Right after that.
But was it the patties or the full burger?
Just the patties.
That would
the
grow.
Yeah, and then they put them on a normal bun. Or
So
like
all
whatever
that was steroids.
What?
All that was posthumous steroids.
We get anyway in beef, so it's a little redundant.
There you go. But no,
Conspiracy theory.
it was a good movie. I like it, in my opinion.
I
I
mean,
hated it.
Oh,
It's
Well,
terrible.
it was a movie that was made off of an SNL skit, right?
no.
No,
Good Burger was
it was
from
before.
all that.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Or yeah, but it was made off of a skit from Keenan and
Yeah.
what's his name?
I forgot his. I haven't seen him.
Who's the other guy? in Good
Was it
Burger?
us?
That's my shit. We got what?
Okay,
I
I got
didn't get that.
chicken falafel.
I think this is.
Or not chicken falafel, chicken shawarma.
I got
Stupid.
Is that?
I got shawarma. You got shawarma, right? Okay, that's
Yeah, I think so.
okay.
What is this? Hash fries. Yeah. Oh, so we got the same thing. Cool.
I got chicken shawarma. You got just a regular chicken.
Yeah.
got
Kebab.
Yeah, no, this is
Yeah.
shawarma. They got different stuff.
Dude, I'm so pumped. I haven't had this in forever.
But What were we talking? Good Burger. I liked it.
Good Burger.
Yeah, and it came from an All That sketch.
All that, okay.
Yeah, from when he was doing that.
I thought SNL because Keenan.
Yeah.
On SNL for years.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's the longest running.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
He is.
I think so.
Is he the longest running? What about Bobby Moynihan?
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
It's the full response I'm going to give to that. Nope. Bobby
sad.
Moynihan has actually never been on SNL. he
Who is he?
he's just a guy who crashes all the time. He shows up and they're like, "Well, we're live. We can't stop this now." None of his sketches were written for them to be that way. He just riffs and they're like, "Oh yeah, Bobby."
I'm thinking of Chris Farley, not Bobby Moynihan.
He was there for a short period.
That's the
but
thing.
obviously-
It's like Bobby Moynihan's trying to be Chris Farley. It feels like the way he acts
So many
sometimes.
bad
He's okay though. I think he's talented. I love Bill Hader though, and Kristen Wiig. They're pretty good.
Bill Hader doing Stefan with John Mulaney writing for him. My favorite thing
Yeah,
of all time.
because he didn't know what he was about to say, and then
That,
say
he
it.
always added the one joke at the end to throw him off and make him laugh.
Yeah.
So great.
My favorite is Bill Hader when he does the reporter in Wealth.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Because that's based off of
Reporting
the actual
live
reporter
from
who,
the-
wasn't there like an actual reporter who like yelled at an anchor
I think so.
Mhm.
or something? Yeah.
What do you know? You're just a
Yeah.
stuffed suit. And then he starts hitting the camera.
Yeah, that's right.
That dude, he was doing like a thing about tenants, and the anchor was telling him like, "Well, maybe you want to. I'm not going to tell you to do your job, but maybe if you want to like go ask the follow-up questions." Oh yeah. Brings the lady back and says, "What did you want to ask her?" And like this is real.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, it's
Like
so
the
great.
actual anchor?
Yeah, I can pull that up.
Yeah, please do.
That.
Gosh. Okay, back to the.
All right, I think
back
at
to the
some
show.
point when we went in there, this was at like I didn't turn my car on for it. When we went in there, this was at like 10 something minutes, and it's at 23. So at some point, it started recording again. I'm so excited to go through the
Go through and
audio
edit.
and see
No,
what's
I
going on
didn't.
here.
Go
Was this
through.
person waiting for me to move the car to
I
get it?
honestly think so.
That's insane. Like they didn't know I was gonna leave.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I think they were pulling up and they were on their phone, and then once they saw
Oh.
you coming to the car, they decided to wait until you left.
The world is
Because
now
I've done that same thing.
a slightly less magical place. I just watched a woman sneeze 3 times in a row.
That's cute.
Yeah, that was funny. So we were talking about you had something to say about Bohemian. If you, for those of you listening, I believe you just heard.
Sneezing
First
is too close to
episode.
orgasming. So
Yeah,
women can't do that. Unholy. Ooh, nice.
look at that.
Wow.
You got tires bigger than my car.
Bigger than my future. Brighter than my future. That's the saying.
My future is small in stature, but shining like a diamond.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
You had an opinion.
I had an opinion. So it's well renowned because it's the kind of song that you can blast in the car and everyone can sing along to. Not the thing that you can sit and contemplate and think about like your innermost secrets, like
Mhm.
the things you love.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's like super popular.
It's good group music.
Right. Because there's stuff that I listen to that I don't listen to unless I'm in the car because I'm listening to something that it's not high cognitive level of like
Yeah.
deep, just like a fun thing to listen to. That's why.
That's valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's about having a good time, not about a deep time.
No, you don't want to think.
Right.
And that's the thing.
Capitalism.
Queen is a perfect model of capitalist music. It's just like meaningless but popular and like given this completely manufactured facade of importance. And part of it comes from the legacy of Freddie Mercury, who himself, great guy, seemingly. I don't know him personally.
You know, personally.
Yeah. And it's just like his legacy does not good music make. They're fine. It's stupid.
No, wait. Sorry.
And it's just like you can just enjoy music and admit that it's stupid. It's the musical quality that you'd expect from like fucking Van Halen or some shit. It's not significantly better.
I think people, it's like we talked about. Depending on the editing, what we just talked about.
I don't know.
That people don't like it when other people deviate from the norm.
Yeah.
Which is why ironic that the whole hipster thing happened, because it was about being away from the norm, but it's not true anarchy, so it eventually became the norm.
Exactly.
Right? Like, so that's what, I don't know, but I feel like that's just the cycle of stuff. Where someone rebels in some way, quote unquote, defining rebellion based on whatever it is, and then more people get into it, and then it becomes mundane, commercial, all that thing.
And I think the phrase to you, ooh boy, that's bad driving. The phrase
Yeah.
to use,
Their bumper is just like sticking.
they had the entire block to get in here, and I was not like, I gave them the
I
room
saw
to
you.
do
There's
so.
tons of space.
And they're like, I'm gonna wait until the last minute so I can block 2 lanes of traffic.
Welcome to Chicago.
Yeah,
That was the other
bada
thing.
bing.
I didn't know. Get the sausage at the Jewels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if you in the podcast would say that you're from Chicago.
I
I
at
don't
one
know if you
point
wanna-
tried to hide that fact and then remembered we've openly talked about living in the Chicagoland area multiple times.
Yeah.
We don't give the name of the
It's
town.
mostly an after the fact where we throw the Chicago stuff in anyway.
Yeah. But
Because I didn't know if I was going to say that.
No,
No,
my,
yeah,
cause
yeah.
my Whacker
Fun
Drive
facts and sad
story.
truths, it's
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
timeless era, but
Oh, you
Yeah.
think? Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
It's beyond time and space. And
We're in.
I
is
mean, you were
everything
there.
and nothing
Yeah,
all at the same
exactly.
time.
But yeah. Fuck was I gonna say? Neoliberalism will take
yes.
everything that you love and destroy anything unique about it.
Do you think that? Okay, so I wonder the association with liberal and the fact that we call it neoliberal is the idea like, oh, it's new and progressive, but in reality,
People
it's
think
not.
that, yeah. And maybe it's just the
New liberal
naming.
because they're dumb.
It's like, first of all, it's the implication that liberalism is good. And it's like modern liberalism is not. But like neoliberalism is a little history lesson to our Lebanese listener about what's gone on in America. After Reagan and Thatcher sort of stripped the protections that were given to workers of the world, specifically for us, our world, America and them England,
Yeah.
taking what they had to protect them from corporations and things like that, and just rampant, filtered capitalism,
Yeah.
where anything that can be mass produced, turned into a product, sterilized, it will happen. And the big one that we're seeing in our modern era to sort of track it is internet subculture, internet weird memes, things like
Right.
that, and how everything, it is the peak of counterculture. It cannot be used as a product. It's unsellable, but they will find a way. And you're seeing Twitter accounts run by Target and shit trying to
Corporate.
use memes and stuff and appropriate this stuff
Yeah.
when they're part of the system that is oppressing the people they're stealing jokes from. And it's just
Yeah.
this disturbing, ugly facet of our society where every single thing you love, no matter how completely unmarketable it is, will eventually be turned. If anyone likes it, they're going to take it. They're
Yeah.
going to do that to it.
Although, quick point is that there's a meme now where it's like this, I don't know, crab thing, and it shoots laser beam out of its eyes. It's like, die, corporate account or something
Mhm.
is like a response to all these things.
And they're going to start
Yeah.
making jokes about that.
Oh, yeah,
At
it's
some
like-
point, that's going to happen.
Well, the
Yeah.
big thing that got all memes being a part of advertising was the Minions. Minions started off as being a meme thing, and then all of a sudden they were everywhere.
Yeah.
Because there was just a lot of weird pictures that you could get from the Minion movie or from any of the movies of them doing something stupid, and then you put your meme caption on it or whatever, and then all of a
That's the
sudden,
reversal.
No, yeah, because it's
Yeah.
the mass marketing of the Minions
And they
Oh.
turn
that
that into
causes
part
that
of yeah.
influence. So it's like an interesting
okay.
way to
Yeah,
turn
it's
it
like
around.
flipping it into it. And whereas the example I would think of is when Wendy's made that commercial where it's 10 years late, we're going to use image macros in a commercial about how great Wendy's is. And it's just watching this shell of what's pretending to be human say look, it's a joke you'll get. You've done these things, but
Right.
it's about our product. And it's
Relatable.
exactly
Yeah.
the idea of every single part of your life, everything you can relate to, anything should be used to try and sell you something.
I
And it's-
studied, yeah, so I studied, as I've already said in this little thing,
Yeah.
a podcast, that's what we're doing.
A little
Um,
talk.
Art history, is what I've studied, and a part of it's in the digital era of art is the technical image. And the idea is that it's come to the point where we've advanced so much of our technology and our photography that things look so clear, and even clearer than what we can see, to the point where it's now desirable for things to be not so clear, because if they're clear, that means they're commercially produced, but if they're like raw and have fuzzy things, that means they're like real and
I'm
edgy,
just gonna
which
do
is why you have like the Kardashians posting these like home videos, because the idea of that image of the home and people, but then also the fuzziness of it makes it more like edgy.
And it's like
And
McDonald's
commercial.
selling artisan bread product and like stuff like manufactured craft like things and trying to make things look flawed now.
Right.
And it's like just ripped jeans, that being a thing you can buy. That idea of just like if
Destroyed things.
something that is inherently not mass produced, what if we mass produced it?
Yeah.
Exactly. So you gotta go.
You guys can keep going if you want to. I don't care.
J. Cole is leaving the
J. Cole
Yeah.
is
Chat.
leaving the station.
Exiting the chat.
exiting the
Alright.
chat.
All right.
Nice meeting
It was
you.
nice chilling. Nice meeting you.
Backwards.
And,
There you go. Bye.
Have a good day, guys. Have fun.
See ya. Happy Mike's mom's birthday.
Yeah.
Okay.